friends, we did it again. Oops, we did it again. I had you guys on Instagram pick my reads. Make sure you're following on Instagram so you can be included and participate in these fun polls. But basically, I took pictures of the books, colored them in, put emojis over them to let you guys decide which books we were going to read. You know? Some of them were books that were on my TBR, some were books that were not on my TBR, and I pulled them in, so on and so forth. So we're just going to jump into our 3 mashups. So we have 6 books here. These were the first 2 books that were pit against each other. Basically what I did was I took everything that was left on my TBR, and then I think I pulled in this book, and I had 3 books left on my or 4 books left on my TBR, and so I pulled in 2 books to make this 6. But these 2 were pit against each other for no real reason other than this was on my TBR and I really wanted to read this. So I thought, let's give her a chance. So for this poll, we had both the Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine, which I love this series, which as somebody who hates vampires, it's shocking that I like this. But for this one, I colored it in red and I put a vampire, a car, and a map. This one is about Zelda. It says, reformed bad witch Griselda or Zelda Watson has hoped to never see another vampire again. When she slipped away to sunny California for a fresh start, she'd grown tired of them and their nonsense ages ago. But with a vampire with amnesia unexpectedly shows up on her doorstep with a letter from her old friend Reggie and asks for her help, she can't say no. Of course it doesn't hurt that Peter Elliott is tall, gorgeous, looks great in yoga shorts, and has that kind of dark hair, that surly expression that for hundreds of years Zelda has been a sucker for. Peter isn't completely harmless, but he's fanged after all. He is fanged after all, but he's harmless enough to soon become the only person in Zelda's new life who knows the truth about what she is. If she can help him decipher the cryptic notes in his journal, the only clue to his lost memories, she might as well try before sending him on his way. But when an alarming message from Peter's past coincides with a clear sign that Zelda can't keep running from her own, they embark on a cross-country road trip for answers, only to find what they are looking for is each other. So, obviously, the vampire, it's a vampire book. The car, it's a car. They're in a car. And then the map, they're going on a trip, baby. So we had that. Pit up against The Bookshop Around the Corner by Jenny Colgan, which literally couldn't be more opposite. For this one, I put a book emoji, a van emoji, and then shopping bags, because this is about Nina, and Nina is a literary matchmaker. She pairs up the perfect book with the reader, and that's her passion, and it's her job, or it was. Yes, until yesterday, she was a librarian in the hectic city, but now the job she loves is no more. Determined to make a new life for herself, Nina moves to a sleepy village many miles away, where she buys a van and transforms it into a mobile bookshop that she drives from neighborhood to neighborhood, changing one life after another with the power of storytelling. From helping her grumpy landlord deliver a lamb to sharing picnics with the charming train conductor who serenades her with poetry, Nina discovers there's plenty of adventure, magic, and soul in a place that's beginning to feel like home, a place where she just might be able to write her own happy endings. So, this was a pretty close poll. It was 45% to 55%. And the winner is The Bookshop on the Corner. This one did in fact win the poll, so we will be reading that for today's video. And this one I'm just going to put back on my TBR because it wasn't, or on my bookshelves, because it wasn't actively picked for my TBR, I don't believe. I'm going to edit that video today, and if it's not in the video, I'll put it back. I can't super remember, so I'll just put it to the side for now. My next matchup was these 2. These are actually both on my TBR, so we will be getting to them one way or another. We have Hopeless by Elsie Silver and then In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This one by Elsie Silver is Beau's story. He is the brother who is in the military. It's the final book in Chestnut Springs. Beau Eaton is the town prince, a handsome military hero with a tortured past. Bailey Jansen is the outcast bartender, a shy girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He's 35. Oh man, and she's 22. All virgin. I hate that trope. He's also her fiance. Correction, her fake fiance. So it's like a fake marriage situation. And then we have got the last book in the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. Love this series. Love Sarah Adams. This is Madison's story. Actually, I've not read the synopsis of this one before. We just buy it because in Sarah we trust. Madison Walker left Rome, Kentucky, determined to make it in the culinary world, but after years of chasing success in New York, all she has to show for it is her shattered confidence and desperate need for a fresh start. Coming home isn't part of the plan until an unexpected job offer lands in her lap, the head chef position at the new farm-to-table restaurant in her hometown. Only catch, it comes from James Huxley, owner of Huxley Farm, and her brother's best friend. Okay, brother's best friend. James has always played it safe, keeping his head down, running the family business, but when Madison's happiness is on the line, he's willing to take on his estranged brother's offer to launch a restaurant. James has loved her quietly for years, knowing she's never seen him as more than an annoyance, but now she's back and he's determined to change that. Madison and James are tasked with launching the dreamy restaurant in record time, but keeping things strictly professional soon becomes impossible, and the town can't help but meddle in their relationship. As opening night looms closer, Madison's fears threaten to hold back. When an unexpected disaster collides with a longing, simmering sibling feud, both Madison and James will have to face their biggest insecurities and decide if love is worth the risk, or if some dreams are better left untouched. Okay, so for Hopeless, I did the, like, army hat emoji, the beer cup emoji because she's a bartender, and a wedding ring because they're fake engaged. Yeah. And for this one, I did a lady chef, a tractor because it's like farm to table, he's a farmer, and the fork and the knife. So this one was also very close. The last one was 45 to 55 and this one's 44 to 56, with the winner being In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams, which I am incredibly excited for. It's one of my most anticipated releases of 2025. It came out on the 30th, so like, whatever. And then our final poll, the one with the biggest divide, it was 72 to 28. So we have these two books, Pucking Wild and Sawyer. So Sawyer is a cowboy romance. This is the third book in a series, and this says, a recently divorced single mom, Ava Bartlett, has zero interest in flirting with a guy on the weekend away with her sisters. She just wants to have fun and listen to music at a honky-tonk. But when she literally stumbles into the most gorgeous guy ever on the dance floor, those plans go out to smoke. Growing up on a barrel racing circuit, Ava's seen her fair share of sexy cowboys, but this particular one is hot as hell. Sawyer's got a mustache, tattoos, and a very filthy mouth. Needless to say, they end up naked in his swanky hotel room, and the way Sawyer treats her like a queen, a girl can get used to that kind of adoration. Good thing he'll only be a one-night stand Ava can look back on with a smile. She's rebuilding her life from scratch, and she needs to focus on her 3-year-old daughter and the dream job she just landed. Imagine her surprise when she moves to Hartsville and runs into a familiar tattooed cowboy with an adorable daughter of his own. Sawyer wants more than the occasional playdates between their girls, and the closer they become, the more determined this sexy single dad is to keep her forever. As much as Ava's falling for Sawyer, she's been down this road before with her ex, and she wonders if she can truly trust a cowboy like him. So, we've got Sawyer, and then we have got Pucking Wild, book 2 in the Jacksonville Rays series. It's a hockey romance. Says, my name is Tessa Owens and my life is officially on fire. I never thought dancing at my best friend Rachel's wedding would be the match to ignite the flame. But with one lingering touch, one longing look, and one sneaky caterer with a camera phone, my almost ex-husband is ready to torch me, professionally and personally. So I do what I do best. I run straight into Rachel's arms in Florida, where she's the team doc for the NHL's Jacksonville Rays. Star forward Ryan Langley is out with an injury and is in need of a place to rehab. I get a surprise in my life when he shows up at my door declaring himself my new roommate. I came here with 6 weeks to launch a new business and fight for my freedom. Now I have to fight my mutual attraction for this charming all-American sweetheart too. Did I mention? Ryan is 10 years younger than I am. He doesn't need my drama, but he's getting harder to deny the way he makes me feel. Wild, fun, free. I want to believe that our pasts don't define us, but first I have to face my fears, because with one innocent dance, it was Ryan who helped me start this fire. What if together we're meant to burn? So, we've got these two books. For this one, I did a, emoji with a cowboy hat, and then a mom feeding a baby and a dad feeding a baby because they're both single parents. And then for this one, I did a hockey stick, a broken heart, and a house. I'm thinking people might think that this book was Heated Rivalry. I don't really know what that's about other than it's like a gay hockey book. But I feel like with the fact that this won by 72% to 28%, makes me feel that people think that this is Heated Rivalry. But I fear it's not. I don't have any interest in reading that because I mean, this book, the first book in this was very spicy, not my cup of tea really, but I did love the story. But I think that from what I heard, Heated Rivalry is like spice with a sprinkling of plot. Let me know if I should read it. But here's the winner. I did the hockey stick because the broken heart because she's getting divorced, and the house because they're roommates. So here is our definite 3 books we are reading in today's video. These two, this one's just very like out of left field, but let's hope we have some winners and let's go. Okay guys, this is where we are starting this video, starting today. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. I will for sure finish this book today. I have a lot to get done, and the audio for this is I think like 10 hours, but it's due soon, and somebody else is waiting for it, so I would like to get this going. But this is going to be The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. I'm sorry, the lighting's really bad. It's very doom and gloom. I'm gonna get changed because I'm actively in my PJs. I'm gonna go get changed into, you know, different PJs to go work, and I'm gonna go into my office and start working on some stuff while listening to that book. Let's go. Okay guys, I'm about halfway through this book. I'm about halfway through my task that I'm currently working on, and I figured we would talk about it. I'm actually like 44%, but you know, close enough. I think this is my second time trying this author, Jenny Colgan, and I think that maybe, just maybe, she's not the author for me. I'm about to heat up some of the meal prep that I made for myself yesterday. Probably be better if I reheated it in the oven to get it crispy again. Should I do that? I think I will, just because that's what's gonna give me the best chance of it going well. But let me get this oven going. It is just green beans, potatoes, beans, like super seasoned. It's really, really good. Okay. Get some parchment paper. And then I made like a creamy dill situation. And I do think this would be fine if I reheated it in the microwave, but I don't think it'll be as good because obviously the potatoes and stuff are no longer going to be crispy. I think I might do like an initial microwave to like warm it and then throw it in the oven for the final countdown, for like a final little, literally all the beans are like conglomerate together. If I can do like a quick little microwave to get the chill off, and I'll just put this on the tray and pop it in there for like a few minutes. I think that'll be good. So, the book, what y'all are here for. It's going okay. I think that there is a fine line in terms of cozy books. For me personally, there is a fine line between it being cozy and being boring, and this is leaning towards boring. So we have our main character in this book, Nina, and Nina is a librarian. The library is closing, they're turning it into something else, so she is losing her job. she finds this ad for this bus, and she gets this idea that she's gonna go and get this bus and renovate it into a mobile bookshop. And so she's in England and this is in Scotland. So she drives to Scotland to meet the person who's selling it. He doesn't want to sell it to her because she is a woman and he doesn't think she can drive it. And while she's in town, she's like, they're kind of like, why would we even need like the bookshop basically? And so she's kind of introducing all of the characters in the story to books. She has a book with her that she leaves at the bar one day and the bartender starts reading it, so she ends up leaving it with him. And so when one of the patrons or people who work at the bar call her up, they're like, I got a proposition for you, like, or I needed to get a hold of you. She's like, you guys can keep the book. And he's like, yeah, so-and-so read it and they passed it on to me and I loved it. We've all been passing on this book. We would love more books. And so we figured maybe we can all pitch in and buy the bus from this old fart, because he'll sell it to us and he'll probably sell it to us for a better deal. And then we'll just sell it to you for what we paid for it. And like, we'll all help each other out and it'll be great. And she's like, oh my God, you would do that? And he's like, yeah, like, we now kind of like see the value in what you're doing here with the bookshop. Like, we see value in it and we would like to be a part of that. So she is unsure what she's gonna do, because she and this other guy that she worked with are both vying for this new position at this new facility that's being built or being ran at the library. And when she finds out she doesn't get that job, she calls him up and is like, yup, let's do it. They agree to do it. She goes to get the bus. However, lost in translation, a little bit of a miscommunication is they thought that she was planning on running this out of Scotland. And they're kind of bummed out when they realize that she's not. And then when she gets home, she finds out that her permit for having this bus in front of her apartment not passed. It blocks too much sun. And so she's kind of like, dang it, what am I gonna do now? So basically, comes to the conclusion that she's gonna have to go back to Scotland. So now she's there setting up this bookshop, and I'm just bored. Like, the way that I'm like not even like a little bit less than 50%, I feel like I've been listening to this book for 800 years. I have one other book by this author on my TBR called The Bookshop on the Shore, and if I give this a bad rating, because the first book I read by her was The Christmas Bookshop, which I gave a 3, and then if I give this a 3, I don't know if I even want to bother with The Bookshop on the Shore. Maybe I'll give it a shot, I don't know, but there's just something about her writing that is so slow, and I don't love that, but that's where I'm at so far today. I have a raging headache. I was having some serious issues with Photoshop today. If you guys don't know, I do run a small business making stickers, and did a collab with one of my friends, and she uses Photoshop, so she sent me the stuff on Photoshop, and I was having issues, but she was able to help me solve the problem because she is the Photoshop expert. So crisis was indeed averted, thank God. And yeah, kind of where I'm at today. We're gonna get this finished. I'm excited to be done with it, which is never like a good feeling. Like, I want to be live, laugh, loving what I'm reading, and it's just, I'm just not. I figured out why it felt like this book was lasting forever. I fear I had it on the wrong speed. The whole time I'm like, this person just talks so slow. I listen to audiobooks when I'm listening with headphones. I can listen at 3 times speed. If I'm listening without headphones, I have it at 2 times speed. And I was listening in my car last, so it was at 2 times speed. Oh my God, so that's why it felt so slow. I did still end up giving this book 2 stars. The second half of the book is, there's this weird romance plot that I just wish was not there. I hated it, I literally hated it. The error involved cheating, I didn't like any of that, and I just did not care. I just did not care about any of these people. So in the second half, she was really focusing on helping people like find their love of reading. And we had like this one girl, Ainsley, who was struggling at home, who she started helping. There was this bitchy old lady who she helped get back into reading. Like, it was a lot of her helping these people get into reading, which is something I do really like, but I just think the pacing and the writing of this book was not for me. And because this is the second book by this author that I had an issue with the pacing and the writing, I just don't think she's for me. But that is going to be it for this book. I think the next book I will probably read, I'm actually not sure, because I think other books are Pucking Wild, which I have the audio for, and In Your Dreams, which I'm going to be reading physically. It's going to be, after I finish what I'm going to start today, my next physical read. But I don't know. So I'll check in with you guys when I have more info. But it was 2 stars. Don't really recommend. I have started this book. I'm not far enough to really, like, say much. It is about Tess and this guy, Ryan. And that's all we've got. But I did want to let you know this is where I'm starting. I'm going to take a shower because I'm having one of those days where I just feel like freezing. And that nothing I do is like breaking the chill. So I just need to go warm my bones and take a hot shower. And I'm going to get back to work and listen to Pucking Wild. I don't know how far I'm going to get in it. I might be able to finish it today. It's quite a long audiobook. I don't even know where my phone is. Let me go find her. The audio is 17 hours and I am 36. I have 17 and a half hours left and I've listened to 40 minutes of it. 17.5 hours. And so this would take me about 6 hours. Yeah, I will be working for at least 6 hours. So I'm gonna go take a shower, put my hair in this stupid bun, but I'm gonna take a shower and then we are gonna get to the book. Okay? Alright guys, we're rocking with Looking Horrid today, but I am about halfway through Pucking Wild, and I am so far liking this. This series is spicier than I typically read or typically enjoy, so I'm like not factoring that into how I'm feeling because I knew that going into the series, but I am loving the characters, okay? So we're getting literally all the characters from book 1 are very prevalent in this. We have got Tess, who is Rachel from book 1's best friend. She goes to, Tess goes to Rachel's wedding with like the 4 people. They had like this ceremony where all 4 of them kind of like got married. And she was there and this guy Ryan, one of the other guys in the team, danced with her. Rachel has kind of like forbade her. She's like, don't mess with anybody in the team, da 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 da, whatever. So she then goes home and these pictures, because the whole wedding was like under wraps, nobody knew about it. So pictures come out to the tabloids and Tess's, technically her husband, they've been separated for 3 years and he is refusing to give her a divorce. He has been cheating on her for years, like with his secretary, with a bunch of different women. She's caught him many a times and she was really close with his mother. We don't know exactly what the deal is with her family yet. That where I am right now, I think we're going to be starting to get that information. But she essentially saw her husband's mom as her mother and they had a really good relationship, and she, with like the family, agreed they weren't going to make like a big thing out of them separating. They were going to do like marriage counseling, all of these things, whatever. But it's been years and she's over it. So these pictures come out of her dancing with Ryan at the wedding. The husband freaks out. He literally like tries to strangle her. Crazy business. And so she, like, in a panic after that happens, literally drives to the airport, flies to Florida to be with her best friend, because her best friend is the one who has gotten her through everything. She arrives, but her best friend's newly married, no problem with her staying there. She's like, you're really welcome to stay. She's like, why did you feel uncomfortable about it? Like, you just got married, I don't want to infringe on your life. And she's like, well, one of the, like, 4 guys, Ilmari, who is my favorite, he's such a prevalent character in this, and I'm so happy because I loved him in the last book. Or Mars as he goes by. He's like, his house is vacant, here's the keys, you can go there. Cool. We're also getting Ryan's point of view. He's at a hockey game and he gets hit really hard in the knee. He has to get like carried off the ice. He has an injury to the knee. He is gonna be out for a bit. The thing is that he lives in a split level house. It's like 4 sets of stairs, and with a bum knee he can't go up and down the stairs. So Rachel didn't tell the boys that she had given Tess Mars's keys. So they give Ryan Mars's keys. He shows up. Rachel doesn't tell anybody. Nobody tells anybody. Tess butt-ass naked when he arrives. This is like the second time he's seen her butt-ass naked. Whatever. He says he'll leave. They agree that they're both going to stay there. So now they're both kind of living in here as roommates, and they have this definite attraction to each other, but they're like arguing, bickering, this whole thing, and he knows that something happened. He's also a lot younger than her, but she doesn't really want to talk about what happened. The reason she also came back is Mars kind of at the wedding had offered her a job. He has this foundation for like saving sea turtles, and he needs somebody to help like advise them on what to do. She is a high power lawyer, and so she is now working for him with this sea turtle organization. So they're working on that, which has been like a fun storyline. But right now, she's starting to really like realize her feelings for Ryan while dealing with this complicated stuff with her ex. She sent him divorce papers. She like served him the papers. He had however much time to like sign them. He instead shredded them and sent her the shredded papers unsigned, and she doesn't know how he did this because he doesn't have her, she threw her phone out the window, hasn't contacted him, and she is to this point just getting pissed. So she's working on trying to get this divorce, and you know, they're having this relationship. She's at a party right now, and there is a girl who is one of the wags for the team that she kind of got into a fight with quite early in the book because physically she looked a lot like one of her husband's mistresses. So they just have this really cute heart-to-heart, and this series does have a lot of found family for us, spicy as it is. There is so much heart in this story, which I can get past the spice if there's enough heart, which there really is. So I am really enjoying this. I gave book 1 3 stars. Like I said, I'm definitely liking this book better because with a why choose situation like the last book, I always pick a favorite, and so with this we don't have to pick a favorite. I like Ryan, I like Tess, and I love that my boy Mars is still like in the book as a kind of like a bigger character than the other guys from the last book. Chef's kiss. It is the next day and we have finished Pucking Wild. Truth be told, I did not finish this yesterday because I was not feeling good, okay? But we did finish it. I think I'm going to actually give this book 4 stars, which I am a bit shocked by. I thought this whole series was just going to be kind of like a silly, fun 3-star read. But though this book is a very, and I mean very, spicy, I loved Tess's story. I loved her storyline of her like really realizing what she wants out of life and like sticking it to these fuckers that are her like ex-husband, ex-mother-in-law, and realizing like who actually has her best interest in her, and discovering this found family situation was just so good. I love how much she and Ryan love each other. Who's the next book about? Now I'm like very interested to find out. Poppy. Yeah, we did talk about a lot about Poppy in the last game. I think this is a throuple situation. Not very sure, but which means it'll probably get a 3-star because I will have a favorite, but this was pretty good. I'm giving it 4 stars for what it was, for a spicy hockey book. I had a fun time. I enjoyed it, and I'm thrilled about that. What we're going to read next is, I'm not completely sure, I believe. I know it's this, and then it's one of these cowboy books. I don't really remember which one, but I don't know. Because I have some Libby holds I need to get to that are not for this video, so we're taking a pause while I film something else, and I'll check back in with you when I know what's going on. Okay, guys, we are getting started on, which I think is the final book. I don't know. We're reading this. I'm only 2 chapters in, but I'm liking it so far. This is about Madison, the 3rd sister in this family of 4 siblings in the When in Rome series. It's about Madison. She has been in New York City in culinary school. At the end of Emily's book, I think the last book, in Beg, Borrow, or Steal, yeah, in Emily's book, she comes back kind of wanting to quit culinary school, and Emily's like, no, like, I believe in you, you've got this, blah, 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 blah. So she goes back, kind of regrets it, hates her life there, and It's really fun, not funny, but like the beginning of the chapters, it tells you where she is, New York or in Rome, however many days before I fail. And so like this whole concept of this is that Madison's kind of the failure of the family, or at least that's the title she claims she has. She gives up, she ruins things, and she just barely passed culinary school. She got fired from her culinary job, and she tries calling her sister. She doesn't answer. She tries to call her sister's boyfriend Jack, and she accidentally hits James, which is her brother's best friend. She calls him, he answers, and she's like, oh, sorry, hangs up, and he calls her back, and like, are you crying? She's like, yeah, but it's fine. He's like, tell me what's going on. Because they're like friends, like she sees him, she grew up with him basically. She tells him, he's like, well, I'm like planning on opening this restaurant, why don't you come be the chef? So now she's heading back to Rome to possibly do this job. This book, not particularly long, it's like just over 300, no, about 350. But Sarah Adams books read pretty fast, so I'm hoping to get through that one quickly. We are just going to accept this scary lighting because I have my lamp on. I just genuinely don't feel like getting up. Can I make it any better? I don't think anything I'm doing is better. If anything, we're making it worse. But that's better. We are about halfway through In Your Dreams. It's 10:30 p.m. and I would say on average like 80 pages an hour. It's taking me all day to get halfway through this book, which is really upsetting because I love Sarah Adams, but I think this might be one of my least favorite of her books, which is so sad because I do love this series, and maybe it'll turn around. This book is around 350 pages, which most of her books are around 300 pages, and I say that because I am on page 172. It probably took to page 120 for me to start caring, because it literally, the first 120 pages felt like everything that was in them could have been done in 30 pages or less, in that it was just a lot of repetitive nonsense. This is dual point of view. We've got Madison, our final sibling that we have not read from, and we've got James. James is her brother's best friend. Madison is the sister who's kind of known to be like the family, not like mistake, but that's kind of like, she makes a lot of mistakes. She's like the failure of the family is how she personally refers to herself. And so we learned in like the last book that she left New York and wanted to like quit culinary school. Her sister convinced her to stay. She goes back, she does the whole thing. So she goes, and now she's back working at this restaurant that literally James made up so that she would have a reason to move home. And so she's there, and it literally took to halfway through the book. She's now like developing recipes for the restaurant. She originally like hated the original concept, XYZ, didn't want to say anything. She's finally told him. They've developed like a friendship. They obviously both like each other, but it just really feels like nothing has happened. Like, we just got to this point. I'm annotating, and this is how many tabs I have. Like, I don't know if you guys can see. There's barely any. I had 4 tabs in the first 100 pages, okay? And so it just feels like I feel like I have nothing else to say because it really feels like nothing has happened. There's been like a few sweet moments of James like having her back, because like basically he realizes the issue she's having, because she's been having panic attacks going into like professional kitchens because she was berated by the chef that she was interning for. And so like when he realizes this, he's like, okay, maybe she just needs to like go back to her roots and like whatever. So he takes her to like see a bunch of people in town, and everybody's like happy to see her, but like kind of talks down and doesn't believe in her like ability to do anything, because she's kind of just like notorious for fucking things up. But he is upset when everybody's kind of like talking shit. I have it highlighted here. And she says like, it doesn't bother me, and she's like, I mean, it's all the truth. And she says, you're upset though, like really upset about it? And he says, yeah, I'm upset. They should have talked to you with more respect. I didn't like it at all. I think it's okay to tolerate some good-natured roasting, but only to a certain point. They each crossed over that point today. And she says, thank you for that. I'm not sure anyone has ever thought I was deserving of respect to that extent before. And he says in like his head, and that killed me. And yeah, so I'm like sort of like I'm starting to like it. It's feeling like a 3.5 as of right now, which is just sad because every book in this series has been I've had 2 5s and a 4. So I'm really sad for this to not feel like it's going great, but I'm hoping maybe the second half picks up, which I've been here before with books where like I think it's not going to be good and then I give it a really great rating in the end. But I'm so deeply not like Madison that I'm having a hard time connecting to her. I do like James though, but that's kind of where we're at. Okay, y'all. This filming spot is a lot less cute without the Christmas decorations, but my husband is sleeping and I want to give you my final thoughts on this book so I can be done with it. It has been a long day. It does not take me like 10 hours to read a 400 or 350 page book. If you guys know how I usually tab, pathetic. Okay, do I look horrible? Yes. Am I wearing pants? No. Do I have a pimple sticker in my nose crevice? Yes. Did I love this book? No. It's one of those things where like part of the issue with this could be A, I just came off a 5-star read, B, I had really, really, really high expectations for this book, and C, I just didn't really connect to these characters. So as I mentioned, this is definitely, in my opinion, the worst book in the series. For me, my order goes book 3, which is, you know, I have to remember the names of them all. That's tricky. Don't you fret. I think the best one is Beg, Borrow, Steal, then When in Rome, then Practice Makes Perfect, and then this. And I think that makes sense because I think that's the order in which I feel I relate to the sisters. So this book ended up giving 3.5 stars, which for me is pretty low for Sarah Adams in general, but specifically this series because they have been full of bangers. But we continued on with their story. There was no big third act breakup, which I was really thankful for. There was a little bit of conflict, but it was reasonable conflict. There was something that he was keeping from her. She found out about it. She was upset. They talked about it, resolved it like grown-ups. That I was happy about. If that didn't happen, it would not have gotten the 0.5. But there was just some things about Madison's personality that were just annoying and a little bit insufferable. And just like she and her sister Emily, who is who book 3 is about, who is literally me as a character, they are very close, but they do butt heads a lot. And that's kind of how I felt about Madison the whole time, was like I was Emily and getting annoyed with her. So, you know, that it just like isn't it is what it is situation. So I think because of that, it was really hard for me to connect with Madison, but I still enjoyed the story in the sense that like I love these characters. I love seeing their grandma's best friend Mabel. I love seeing all the sisters and their partners and their continued relationships, and I love seeing the people in the town and everybody coming together to help. Like, I love a small town romance. I do. And I loved James. He was very much so an acts of service type guy, but this then did also fall into the trope that I personally don't love, where like he's been pining for her since they were like in high school for like years and years and years and just couldn't get over her. And that's just not something that's been my reality growing up. I always had like long-term relationships, but like, or like, and I had crushes, whatever, but like I was never so hung up on somebody that it was like ruling my life in the way that it seems to in books. So things like that do a little bit annoy me. So overall, it was a 3.5. It's not my favorite. I would say still read it. If you're this deep into the, I don't say start with this one. I say start with book 1 and read them all, because if you're gonna get to book 3, you might as well read book 4. And this has been getting pretty good reviews overall. It was just okay for me. And so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I don't say this, my husband told me I should say it. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you think of these books. Did you guys do a good job picking them? Because this was Instagram picking my votes. Like, did Instagram do a good job? And if you are interested in me reading the other books that were not picked, that is going to be in an upcoming video, because it turns out I was looking at them, I'm like, I really want to read all of these. What can I do with them? And I was like, well, they're all like parts of a series, so there will be a continuing series video coming up with all 3 of those books in it, which is Sawyer, Hopeless, and Road Trip with a Vampire. Those will all be coming up in a video here shortly, but subscribe if you have not already. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so it would mean the most to me if you could subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!